I'm Greg Miller from KindaFunny.com, and you're listening to Podcast X, Y, and Z.
What's up, my people?
What's up, guys?
Welcome to Podcast X, Y, and Z, the world's number fun video game podcast. I'm Caleb Pearson. To my right, Andrew Matthew.
Here we are.
We're your hosts for this evening.
We are?
And every other evening.
Live from
Andrew's mom's basement. Let's go.
Studio 106.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, we run Media Interactive. Come at you each and every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Media Interactive. Talking about all things Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, video game news, and all that good stuff. If you like that, you can support us over at patreon.com/Media Interactive for $1 or $3 a month. You get access to all sorts of exclusive giveaways and perks and T-shirts, and including an exclusive podcast, which we'll bring up in a minute.
We'll talk about that soon.
But you can support us like these people as follows: Zan the Man Xander, Suze, Silas, Sam, Ryan, George, Harry, Lauren, Josh, Kirby Curbs, Jonathan, Jake, Brendan, and Brad. Thank you guys so much for your support.
Thank you.
We love you so much. You are co-creators right alongside us. We couldn't do it without you. And if we tried, it just wouldn't be good. They make us okay instead of bad. That's the way I like to see it.
You heard it here first.
Andrew, tons of fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the first and most important side mission that just happened.
Live
in the chat.
Happened.
Pre-show.
We're freaking out still.
RauwRo got an Xbox One.
RauwRo got an Xbox.
Now, succumbing to peer pressure is never okay unless it's me or you peer pressuring them.
That's
basically
what we
we're
started
learning.
this company for.
Our community, man. The squad we got going. Daniel, RauwRo, Seth, all of them. I love them so
Well, we
dearly.
gotta like rewind a little bit to the blog post.
Oh yeah, okay, true.
RauwRo.
We'll bring it up now. God, it's a RauwRo kind of evening.
It's a RauwRo night.
You want to explain that a little bit?
Out of the blue, I was driving and I got a text from Caleb saying, "Open this when you get home."
I knew he was driving. I cared about his safety. I knew he was going to get emotional.
I got home. Before I even walked inside, I clicked on it. To my surprise, RauwRo writes about his experience as a gamer, experience as a podcaster, and the Best Friends community, and talking about Xbox and Microsoft, and
it was so good. He talked about Media Interactive and just the bond we have had over Xbox stuff.
If I can
and he foreshadowed, man, and we didn't know it.
We didn't know.
He knew it.
Yeah.
What a guy.
He definitely foreshadowed at the end there. He was like, soon,
Yeah.
you got us.
Yeah.
If I could sum up my experience as co-host of this, I would just link to that article.
Yeah, that's it.
I honestly
that's
think
it.
so.
And when we were texting about it, I was kind of like, "This is it, Andrew. That's it."
Seriously.
I don't care who I met in New York City. I don't care who I meet in L.A. in June. That's it. I'm telling you. But I'm being genuine too.
Yeah,
it's not like
because actually
there is an element of us like, oh, like these guys watch us every week, like, oh, they're the best, we love them, blah blah blah. Like we genuinely love them.
Oh, absolutely.
And like I don't know when I'm gonna meet him, Andrew, or if I'm gonna meet him.
But now that he has an Xbox, it's like the first step is reached.
We're there.
So the goals here, the dreams can be whatever we want.
The community is so strong, Andrew. I'd love to jump right into the campaign today if I could.
Let's do it.
It's recapping our week. Story mission number 1.
Podcast Remastered,
one of our exclusive perks over at patreon.com/Media Interactive. We recorded that earlier than normal this month because Andrew and I, as co-hosts and co-founders of Media Interactive, taught an entrepreneurship class.
And we told you guys last week, but even when I said it out loud, it didn't feel real until I was walking into our old high school knowing that I was going to teach a class.
Walking into our old high school as older, creepy men with duffel bags full of equipment.
Yeah.
Which trying to get into a high school nowadays is like trying to break out of prison.
But
we did it. Jason Yuri, who was a guest on episode 9, if you want to go back to our YouTube, check him out. He's the man. He let us come in and explain our experience to the high schoolers of just starting the Patreon, starting the YouTube page, all that fun stuff. And then we also got to record Remastered.
In a high school class?
In the class. So that was the class, yeah. Talked about Star Wars, Avengers, Disney, and all that fun stuff.
What was it like for you?
It was so surreal.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, we have one mic, and so I'm like trying to facilitate this
the whole
round
time
table discussion. To be honest, Andrew, I was
Yeah.
super administratively minded.
Yeah.
I could have been more.
Yeah.
Also,
the kids were on my side of the table.
So it was good. I was glad you were more talking. If you have access to Remastered, go check out our Patreon homepage.
Definitely. It was
or the RSS feed, because it's so fun to hear these high schoolers talk about stuff. I mean, they were elated that we were there. I think they had a fun time.
Yeah.
We gave a little PowerPoint presentation explaining what we've done. Oh, it's just been so fun.
Well, because even when we started, you had a moment when you were telling everyone, you said to the high school students, you said, like, if this was me being in class and someone came to do this, I would be thrilled. And I disagreed at the beginning of it because, I don't know,
Right, I get it.
I was insecure, self-conscious, but as I was getting into it, especially as they started to sit around our table, I was like, if I was a student, I would be so happy right now.
Yeah.
It was an affirmation of, like, entertainment, like, the things that are nerdy or uncool, as, like, we're talking about, like, starting a company or doing this weekly, and then them being, like, the shy kids in the back just, like, showing up and being like,
right.
Yeah, I want to talk about Star Wars.
It was so informal, yet, informative.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know, it was so much fun. And, like I'm going to become a pastor. I went to college to teach.
Yeah.
So the opportunity to just talk about what we love and share how we are demonstrating, like, our skills and passion, and then to just see them just talk about Disney or Indiana Jones or whatever.
It was really cool. It was
so much fun.
It's super cool. If you definitely have the access to remaster, definitely check it out. Takeaways, everyone was really interested for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
People.
A lot of theories.
A lot of theories about that. We talked a lot about Disney, which was really fun. I thought that there would be some of, like, we're too old, but, like, it was really good. I felt like we were all on the same plane of, like, things we've seen and things we know. And our teacher talked and some of that. It was a really fun. It didn't feel like just two people presenting and then saying goodbye. It was
like seriously though, if you're listening to this, picture what it might be like for you to go back to the place you graduated from.
Yeah.
And teach and do what you are doing.
Yeah.
And have it be fruitful and educational. Like, it was just so cool, man.
No, yeah.
It felt really good.
Yeah.
Tons of fun.
Super fun.
So that's a little bit more about just our community and where we're at. It's the best.
Seth says, look how far y'all have come. Seriously. Like,
the opportunities are so cool that we have had.
Every time something happens, I look at Caleb and say, another thing to the, like, the heck list. Like,
right, yeah. Yeah.
And
it's
we're
surreal.
just like, yeah.
and I told him in December when we went viral, I was like, Andrew, I'm not going to process this until 2 to 3 years from now.
No, absolutely.
So as far as stuff adding on to it, it's just like, all right, here we go. What's next, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. Were you able to share some of the pictures on our Twitter?
Yes.
Nice.
I don't know if I tweeted them.
Okay.
They're on Facebook. I might send a few out on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That's cool, yeah.
To give them a vibe of what the room looked like
Definitely.
and all that stuff. It was tons of fun. We're going to jump into the rest of the story missions. Relatively slow news week, though. There is a couple things we want to talk about. Yeah. Feel free to throw whatever side missions if you're watching live on Twitch. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll definitely make you a part of the conversation. And then again, you can listen to the HD audio as it goes up later tonight and to podcast services all over the place tomorrow. Andrew, story mission number 2. Fortnite times Avengers. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm glad we got all the here's how happy I am news at the beginning, because now it's like
Fortnite and Avengers.
What I hate combined with what I dislike.
Yeah.
I mean, are you excited for that? Does that pique your interest in any way?
It does.
Okay.
I did really enjoy the last year's Infinity Gauntlet.
Which was just him, right?
Correct.
Thanos?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
And they've teased Thor's hammer right now. I think my big item wish list is put costumes in the store. Like full out Iron Man Hulk costumes. I don't know if they'll go that far.
Because the last season was like knockoff superheroes, right? It's like you kind of look like one,
yeah,
but
no,
you weren't.
It wasn't.
You weren't anybody.
Yeah, the closest they've gotten to like feeling like something else was the NFL jerseys. It was like feeling like you were something real. And so I hope they do something like that. I think that'd be cool. RauwRo says Caleb rather Fortnite times Star Wars.
Oh my God! I didn't even think that was a possibility until now. Huh. Oh, that'd be so fun, dude. I'd be in there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But that brings up a question I have. Like, NFL and Marvel, that means they just came to an agreement with Epic. Is that what that means?
Yeah, I believe so. Someone reached out to someone.
So technically, Star Wars is a possibility one day.
Technically.
Like, there's no.
Well.
But I don't know what Lucasfilm has allowed to have happen. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
How, like, when we were talking about the Game of Thrones video game stuff, like, would HBO ever let it happen, or what does that look like? I don't know. But that's the thing, is you're starting to see more and more Star Wars stuff, but EA has the rights to it.
Well, that's what my concern was.
I don't think it can.
Yeah. That was my concern.
Gosh. A guy can dream, right? Maybe
cool.
one day. One
day. It would be cool. I mean, I think in, like, the peak of Fortnite, it might have been able to happen, but now what is it, about to be season 9?
Is it really 9 seasons?
I don't know if Star Wars is a possibility.
I don't know how you people do it.
Daniel says, I think we need to show Andrew times RauwRo Superheroes Edition.
Wait, Andrew times RauwRo?
Like
what is that?
Andrew featuring RauwRo.
Oh,
Superheroes edition.
I see. Hey, Daniel, if you're watching this live, you should click that tiny X button in the top right of your browser and then just go to bed.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, they're both owned by Disney. I mean, yeah, but...
It's really... It gets so convoluted,
yeah,
man. It gets so convoluted. But
that would be cool.
Anyway, it'd be cool. I am excited to at least look at... The first thing I do in terms of how much Fortnite I'm going to engage in is just watch the clips on Twitter or check Twitch if it's new content, right?
Yeah.
So I can see what these heroes look like, see what these
pickaxes
look like, see what Ninja's doing. Yeah, and like he's on Fallon again tonight.
Really?
And I was like, why are you bringing him back? I guess it's a slow week
I thought
for celebrities.
His clout had ended.
I thought his stardom was over.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's doing something different, if he's just going to be silly again. But maybe this has some... I don't know. Does this up Ninja to relevant again?
No, I hope not.
I'm genuinely asking. I don't know.
I think what it does is it usually pulls the older audience to know about relevant people for the younger audience. Like, usually when someone shows up on Fallon, my mom or dad is like, oh, I never heard of this person. But I don't know if, like, it will make kids watch more Ninja.
I think kids need less Ninja, in my opinion. Kids should be acting like ninjas in the backyard, not watching them on Twitch. You can put that on a t-shirt.
Seth says, imagine pulling up in Fortnite with a lightsaber. Daniel says, that would be kind of cool, actually. Kind of cool. It would be
It would be freaking awesome, and I would never not play it.
Like, one person gets, like, a Sith lightning, and then one person he gets a Jedi lightning force, and the teams are behind them.
If you block it, the bullets are... It'd be so fun.
We just planned a Fortnite mode.
But here's
Fortnite hit us up.
The reason I don't like Fortnite is because I don't like building. So objectively, I just don't like the game, right? And then the reason I don't like Avengers is because it's too much for me to handle.
Yeah.
Too much going on.
Right.
So I have nothing against the sci-fi and the competitive battle royale.
Yeah.
I love sci-fi and battle royale. It's just the style for both of those things just doesn't cater to me.
Yeah.
So when I saw it was a partnership, I mean, obviously it's huge. The biggest movie franchise and the biggest video game franchise in the world. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for the community. When stuff like this happens, I'm like, sweet, good for you guys. But I have no stake in it.
Yeah,
all.
I think like the best thing of Fortnite for me right now is not playing for a while and then just hopping back in. Because like I like being surprised, kind of.
You mentioned in the group me this week.
I played last week, and I had no idea.
Called you out, yeah.
I basically said like I had played. Guys, I have a confession. I played Fortnite and had fun. And I think it was because I didn't follow the weekly, this gun is coming, this is nerfed, this is changed.
I can't do it.
I hadn't played for 3 months, and I played, and it was like all these new vehicles, like all these new weapons, all these new locations. For me, it was kind of like, whoa, this is really cool. Also, it was not as hard as I remembered. And I don't know if, you deserved it.
Sorry, I had to do that.
They have like a competitive mode in Fortnite now, so I think like the casual mode is a lot easier. So I found it like not really annoying. At least when I didn't play for that.
That's
long.
a good point. I do need to check out the different limited time modes and stuff like that. Because I love playing with people. It's not like I still have the same philosophy as if your friends are doing it, you can get online with them and have fun. Yeah, it's not like you're gonna hate your experience.
If RauwRo starts playing Fortnite, I'm gonna have to play Fortnite.
The fact that he owns an Xbox right now, it almost like it doesn't matter what else happens to me or this week. It's like RauwRo got an Xbox. This is the week that RauwRo got an Xbox. 2019, April 23rd, man. I love it.
We got a question from the chat.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Marty on 87/8 says, hey guys, just been looking through different streams on the talk show section. It's pretty cool to see other people's looks on things. What do you guys think will be the next big trend in gaming after Battle Royale games?
Woo! That's awesome.
That's
What's
a really
his
good
name?
question.
Marty, most likely? Dude,
Marty.
welcome to the chat, man. You're totally awesome. That's something I've been really thinking about.
Yeah.
And as far as I can tell, and maybe as far as I can hope, as far as what I enjoy, is the single player campaign is going to have a comeback.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because Call of Duty has a single player campaign again.
Yeah.
God of War did so well
that
because of Battle Royale fatigue, sometimes people want to get away from everybody else and get immersed in a narrative, right?
Same thing with Spider-Man, Red Dead.
Because Battle Royale, you're immersed in everything except a narrative, right?
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
No Fortnite character has a name. No, you don't even know what you're fighting for. Right. It's just fun, arcadey.
Yeah.
But that single player, whoa, I just had this whole theatrical experience. You know, that's what I love. I mean, what about you?
I would say I hope split screen games come back. I hope like
oh wow, yeah, that's practical.
The new consoles come out with like a more like Nintendo Switch feel to say like the new thing in gaming is to just play on the couch with someone. I don't think that's a realistic thing. I think what you see is more of what you say, and I think games are going to get like shorter in time and faster paced. I think people who don't play Battle Royales for the long term like the quick shot of Call of Duty, and I think games double down on that and give you some quick moments of energy to just like pop in for a short match and then leave. Daniel says Halo Infinite bringing back split screen to Halo Infinite, like
I'm excited. I'm super excited.
That's a really good question, though, Marty. If you have thoughts about what you think, please share.
Yeah, feel free to throw in your thoughts live if you're watching on Twitch, or later if you're listening to this on YouTube or podcast services. The HD audio. Feel free to send us a tweet or whatever.
It's just interesting because Battle Royale kind of came out of nowhere.
I know, and then it's just everybody's on board.
It's just everywhere, yeah.
Why don't we use this, Andrew, to segue into another story mission?
He responded. He
okay,
said,
yeah, what'd he say?
Atmospheric single-player games, that's what I like to hear. I predict a rise in choices matter games, kind of games. Ooh.
So I'm assuming he means more Witcher type stuff, not Telltale type stuff.
Yeah.
But, he's so right, because what we are losing, and I'm not saying it's gone, is that opportunity of, you played this game. What did you decide to do? Or, who was your clan? Or what ending did you get?
Yeah.
Red Dead, that we had that conversation. It was what ending did you get?
If you just showed up to our stream, Marty, like, we love Red Dead Redemption 2.
We went back, I mean, we covered it for months. So that is something that I know all gamers appreciate. Because if people were jumping on Battle Royales right away, like, that's where they're coming from. It was such a change of pace.
Right.
And that idea of the pendulum swinging back and forth, it's true of any industry, let alone the games industry.
I just had a thought, like, I kind of wish and hope maybe that the new Star Wars games has choices. Wouldn't that be pretty cool if, like, one guy's Jedi, like, dies in the end and one becomes the dark side?
Dude,
like,
if Jedi Fallen Order had missions that were either shorter or longer for different people based on what they chose, I would love it.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
If you finished the game and I finished the game and you came across somebody that I never saw, I would go back and find them.
Exactly. That's where...
And that's the thing. Everybody wants somebody to replay their video game.
Yeah.
That's it. If you're doing a single player campaign, you're going for longevity. You're going for Game of the Year editions and nostalgia later on.
Yeah.
And you remaster it. You do what Sony does. Hopefully with The Last of Us this year, where they remaster for a new console. But whatever.
Yeah.
But that idea of like, wait a second, where you and I had those Red Dead moments.
Oh man, those were the best moments.
Of like, wait a second, he told you to leave that kid alone. He told me to go save the kid. It's like, what? How did we do that?
And the most boring of missions, like go fishing, and then we have completely different.
That's my problem.
dynamics.
Is when we have listeners that I love, but they say, "Oh, I still haven't finished Red Dead." I want them to play it and talk to us about it so they can have that revelation.
Yeah.
Wow, like, now I don't expect anybody to go run through Red Dead, but when it was happening, I was like, you guys actually need to finish this so we can talk about it.
Because it's just so crazy because everything is different.
Because, Andrew,
even dialogue.
The reason I love Red Dead 2 is because of
every week being
us
like
playing it together,
watching you play it and seeing how your game unfolded, watching me do stuff and being like, really?
But that's it. It's why we do Red Dead. It's why we do this podcast. It's why we run Media Interactive. Talk about it. Share about it. Enjoy the moments in the games, and then you can just appreciate it as you look back. I think it's super cool.
Marty says, I've seen Netflix has been trying to incorporate choices matter features into some of their movies and shows. Exactly. RauwRo says, love talking to people about the same game but having an entirely different experience. Seth says, choice matters just allows people to replay the game so much. It's awesome. Yeah, I wonder if there's like a comprehensive list of like choice matters games, because right now, thinking about it, Red Dead and Witcher are those games, and it's our top games. Like, people should be rolling these out more, right?
No, exactly. But that's the thing, Andrew. Think about it. The two companies that are doing that take their sweet, delicate, intricate time.
Jeez.
Whereas Battle Royales are cut and copy paste this recipe, which is fine.
Yeah.
It serves its purpose. And that's why I love Alcatraz Portal so much in Black Ops 4. It's quick, it's easy, I can feed on it and then be done in 20, 30 minutes.
Right.
But if I'm looking for something long, that is where gamers are still so prone to spend $60 and then have their moment, have their headset, mark themselves as offline. And then come back on.
Turn off the lights and then...
and brick and do it.
Yeah.
And I will never not want to do that, at least in some part of my gaming genre. So let's talk about that briefly. We mentioned it. Story mission number, I don't know if this was 3 or 4. I'll be honest with you, I lost count.
Keep going,
Time
bro.
flies when you're having fun.
Time flies.
No Battle Royale in Halo Infinite. This is basically confirmed by the developer saying it's not launching with Battle Royale.
Yeah.
They haven't been focusing on it. It could happen one day, but don't expect it or wait for that to happen, basically.
Yeah, and there was a string of rumors behind that of like Battle Royale.
And we were on. I mean, it's called Infinite. You get this idea in your head.
And okay, so this is where I had this big revelation, and thanks to the internet, of like what the developer had said in response to that of like no battle royale, but I think it's a her. I think she said she was like,
It should be Bonnie, the lady.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
She said, think about it though. We will not put battle royale into the game, but you know what's in the game? Forge.
Right. You can do it.
Community-driven
Yeah.
maps and game modes. And then I had this moment of like, that is the best freaking case scenario. Because think about it. Unlimited possibilities for maps, guns, selection, characters, battle. It just blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Right.
If like, because Fortnite tried with creative mode, right? Create your own things. And I know it's booming on the PC, but for us console gamers, it's like, it's not much.
Yeah.
To think about Halo Infinite being like, you can make a battle royale game for us and our friends to play and just test out and mess around with it.
Yeah.
But it not be like 3-4-3. That's right. That's who they're doing it, right?
3-4-3.
3-4-3. It's not 3-4-3 endorsed. It's just Caleb Pearson's battle royale. I would have so much more fun with that.
Right. Again, because it means more to you, because I did it, and you care about me, and you have this meaning around what is otherwise a separate objective game, and it's approachable. You can appreciate the developer, right?
Yeah.
That's why I love doing this with you and studying the industry behind games. By the time I played Days Gone this weekend, I have already had an experience with the development of that game.
Yeah.
And I will be thinking about my podcasters that have already played it. I will be thinking about what I learned about the developer, and I'll be like, I just encountered what they were talking about a couple months ago, and it's so freaking cool. One of our regular listeners, dear brother and friend, Daniel Prindle, he had a really good tweet. It was like late last week, maybe. He basically said, like, Halo is not going to take after the rest of the industry. They're going to forge their own path, right? Like, you literally brought up Forge. And I just thought he had a really good take on it because they're essentially sort of rebooting Halo, rebooting Xboxes as far as launching and having this new platform to play on. And so I'm so comforted by the fact that they're not reacting, basically. They're being proactive, not reactive. Because if they are, and again, it wouldn't bother me if the mode was in there. Mainly because I think you just put it in there.
Yeah.
And maybe one day it will be. But for them to focus their efforts elsewhere is totally fine. We just played Master Chief Collection. We still play Master Chief Collection. And it's so fun.
It's so
because it's
fun.
basic, it's shooting, and it's competitive. And that's something that you and I enjoy.
Yeah. That's very, very true. Daniel says Halo 5's Forge is extremely powerful. Infinite is going to be insane, especially since the lead for Halo 5's Forge is now the entire multiplayer lead for Halo Infinite.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, the potential is there. I think, like, it's gonna be easy for me to get too hype about Halo, so I'm trying to step off. But things like this just make me want to completely dive in and just get too excited. But I'm trying to be a little bit realistic of like, okay, it's just a game. Like, Halo's rebooting,
and you gotta understand, 365 days from now, we could have this exact same conversation, and it still not be out.
Exactly.
So it's like you gotta really pace yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Daniel says, "Dive in, Andrew." Trust me, I'm a hype train fan.
Well,
but I gotta be a little bit realistic here.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's exciting to think about like all the possibilities.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how their summer tour does. You know how they're doing that weird Halo museum amusement park type. Yeah. I still want to maybe go to the one in Philly. It'll be a spur of the moment thing. I'll drive or do something, but we'll figure it out. Andrew, let's move on to story mission number 4/5. This is like pop culture, dude. This is live. This is happening. This is relevant. Assassin's Creed Unity and Ubisoft donated 500,000 euros. To Notre Dame, and also offered the game free on PC. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, like, it was an interesting. I mean, everyone was kind of in shock of like, wow, that is literally burning, roof collapsing, like a lot. That was a very sad situation, of course, and I think it's like, I mean, I assume that they're based in France then.
Unity took place there, and that's why it's free. Quote, giving players the opportunity to experience the cathedral because of the one-to-one model they used. And it's really cool. Like, I have scaled that building in that game. And it's like, whoa. Okay. Now I know, by that roof falling down, I know what that means. I know what that kind of feels like.
Right.
But, dude, PR move? Like, plus 1,000 brownie points. I mean, so good. And, you know, people get all political about, if we're donating money to that, we need to be donating money to this. The news I want to gravitate towards for Media Interactive is just games matter. And games can matter. And this story, this opportunity that people are going to have to try out the Assassin's Creed game. I day one that game and played it all the way through. I actually enjoyed it.
Really? I should go play
it. It was a few years ago. It was the So Black Flag launched on this new console cycle.
I love Black Flag.
And then this was the next installment.
Okay, yeah.
And
Seth inappropriate says Unity was fire. I know he didn't mean it if I said was fire, but
do you think he knew what he was?
I don't think he knew.
Hey, honestly, if he knew, that's pretty.
Yeah.
I'll laugh at that. That's funny. Repent right now.
That's so funny.
That is super funny. What a guy. But no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. It tried multiplayer. I don't know if you remember. We talked about it once or twice before.
Yeah.
But Aaron and I would try to get on and do multiplayer Assassin. We're like, yeah, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
But the single player was super fun.
I think I think it's an interesting thing too, because I honestly think the best thing about Assassin's Creed games and Ubisoft is they really know how to preserve history in a very beautiful way. And I think it's a really cool way to give back to the community. Not like a weird flex of play our games, but like you said, I literally scaled the building. Right. And it feels very real. I think their attention to history, I think, is the best thing that they have to give to communities with their games. Yeah. And I think Assassin's Creed Unity being sent out it's really good. Seth says, "Well, didn't even mean that."
That's so funny. You're good. You're in the clear. Crisis averted.
Assassin's Creed Unity. Okay, maybe I have to play that.
Well, you gotta slow your roll, Andrew. I'll be honest.
I love
with you.
trying games.
I see you online sometimes, and I'm like,
I love trying games.
Bruh, close your wallet, Andrew.
I'm very quick to a salesman. It's sales get me.
I know. You and your I feel like you're the guy that right when you see the little sale in the corner, you click on it and buy it.
You wouldn't even believe how true that is.
It's so funny how that works on people. I'm such a stickler.
Really?
I will basically research it, and I have to get a full blanket approval across the board.
Wow.
And then have it be super easy to do it. I never impulse sales. I'll impulse full price all the time.
I'm like, if it's $20,
it's weird.
I'll play anything.
I'm not even saying I'm in the right and you're in the wrong. I'm just saying that's just the way I think and act. It's so funny. But you've been trying out more games than I have.
I have. I've been really enjoying
which is super cool.
Seth says best Assassin's Creed game would be if they set it in Japan and had samurai. Ooh, that would be very.
There was
very
one.
Cool.
It was a 2D. iPhone and iPad scrolling game. I'm not saying that's an Assassin's Creed game. Let's be real, but it is. It's Ubisoft Assassin's Creed called something. Look it up. Really dumb, but they technically did it. It's one of those stupid things where they do it.
I know they had a separate.
But
I think
ruined,
they did India too.
Yeah, some dumb thing like that.
I heard that the next game would be set in either ancient Rome or Vikings.
Vikings, that's what I heard.
And Vikings would be
which
very
would be a
cool.
2020 game. Well, it would launch with the consoles basically.
Yeah.
But that should be good. Andrew, moving on to the next story mission. Mortal Kombat 11
released. I think it's today, maybe. Am I wrong?
It should be Tuesday the 23rd. I'll look it up.
Okay, yeah. So
have you
Kombat
seen
11.
reviews and/or gameplay of it?
I've actually been following it a lot. I think people can't really post it on YouTube because it's too violent, so you don't get any ad revenue.
Oh, right. It's out today.
It's out today. Okay, yeah. So, is anyone first before we start talking? If anyone has played it, please let us know if you have it. If you love fighting games, but I've been following it's sort of like the EA loot boxes scandal all over again with different companies and fighting games. Supposedly, fighting games are the worst with it. Angry Joe has a couple good rants, like he classically does.
For 11,
and another game called Dead or Alive, where he summed up the DLC in Dead or Alive, and it's literally like $2,000 for cosmetics and fighters. And Mortal Kombat 11 also paywalls and stuff. So I think it's really interesting because fighting games are like the classic. You go to an arcade, you put 25 cents in, and you can play against your friend. And now it's like the most expensive games.
So you can get. And so here's a side mission to go along with that. Even Super Smash Bros. Just added the Joker.
Yeah.
And I talked to you about how I'm not going to buy him or get him.
Yeah.
It's like $5 per character or whatever. So Mortal Kombat's the same way?
Basically the same way. They have one competitive game mode where I think you need to continually put money into progress. But pretty much the story and online is good. I think there's just like one game mode and some characters are just
Do you like fighting games?
I like it. So I freaking...
We played that one. You had one. It's not Mortal Kombat. It's the other one. It's whatever it's called.
I don't know.
Oh, we would play it on your Xbox all the time. It wasn't Mortal Kombat. It wasn't... I forget the name of it. But anyway, yeah, continue.
I love the ones on Game Pass because when I'm with people, just like downloading Mortal Kombat for free. They have Mortal Kombat 10 for free. Mm-hmm. It's just super fun to watch the fatalities. Let's see what's been happening. RauwRo, I've been watching some gameplay on Twitch. Love fighting games, but I am hopeless at them. That's my thing too. Is I can't compete at all. Daniel says I really like Mortal Kombat 9 and X, but I've got a little bit of MK fatigue now. Probably pick it up when it's on sale. Yeah. Marvel vs. Capcom. Seth says, "Oh God, very hard side quest, but I hate the state YouTube's in." Yeah, dude, YouTube's a mess. We'll just have a whole podcast dedicated to YouTube. RauwRo says, "Smash is the only thing I'm okay at." Yeah,
that's true. I mean, I'm okay at Smash, but I just don't.
I will never.
Not my favorite genre.
Yeah, no, I will never be able to pay $60 for a fighting game and get the value out of it. I will get max $10 out of it when friends come over and we just like, oh, we don't want to play a shooter, we don't want to play a soccer game or a sports game. Like, let me just punch you real quick, like in a fighting game.
Right.
And that's like a good Friday night. But I like. What do you think about? Do you like fighting games? Are you?
No, I mean the only reason I like Smash Bros is because it's pretty displaced as far as a traditional fighting game.
Yeah.
The Street Fighter, super realistic, the 2D looking stuff. The animations are fun. I get it. People like the goriness.
Yeah.
But I've never really played them. I've seen people play Injustice and stuff like that, and I just wasn't really about it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, mean anything to me really.
Yeah.
It's reviewing well. IGN gave it a 9.
Yeah.
I know people enjoy it, and people were excited. Like that reveal during the Game Awards was a big thing.
It's also really interesting that they have an emphasis now on story mode. I've heard a couple fighting games have really big emphasis on the stories, and I'm like, how do you? Because like to me, Mortal Kombat was on those arcade games, right? So how would you have followed the story all the way from 1987?
Well, I don't know. The lore of some of this stuff. If you step into a game nowadays, you're like, wait a second, what's going on here?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
And the most recent example of that in my own life is like Square Enix just detailed their E3 lineup, and so they did Final Fantasy stuff. We would know them from Tomb Raider, but the world of Final Fantasy right now is untouchable because I can't even begin to understand what's going on.
Final Fantasy
where
is
they're at,
wild
and like
ride.
15 remakes been rumored for 20 years.
And they're doing well on Xbox, like the remakes.
Yeah, they're doing very well.
Very well. There's a huge niche audience.
Yeah, and I'm happy for them. But again, it's just not my cup of tea, Andrew. Moving on, I want to talk about this YouTube video I shared with you earlier today.
Do it.
So this was basically a video I had found. I tweeted it out. You can follow us on Twitter at @MInteractiveXYZ and find it if you want later or now, whatever. Basically how there's never ever going to be a perfect video game controller. It's about a 7-8 minute YouTube video that talks about the history of all video game controllers, basically confirming at the end of the video that gamers have catered to the natural style of the controller. So ergonomically it's not 100%, but we're wired to think that way now. And it speaks to the asymmetrical joysticks of the Xbox controller, how much everyone always has loved PlayStation's kind of layout of the controller.
Yeah.
But I thought the video was super cool
to
think about, okay, here are all the reasons why, you know, the Xbox controller was massive, and all these weird controllers were just way offset, and and then the N64 controller with the what were your impressions of that video?
Yeah, I was one of those people that like never understood the N64.
I didn't either.
That's
why the video taught me some stuff.
And and I would always be like, well, it's cool, so I won't question it because I'm not gonna be the one guy at a party and be like, why is it made this way? But I was always confused about seeing people, because people who love those old games will like just continually know when to do it and know how to do it. And I'm like, I grew up on Xbox. Like my hands it was a big controller and my hands got sore, but I don't know about all this. So it was definitely really interesting to think about how the controllers are made and thinking like, I told you like, what would an ergonomic controller look like, and would we even like it at all? Probably not. Like, so this is really interesting.
Yeah, it's good. I eat that stuff up, Andrew. That's the content I enjoy. I love all the controllers. So if you're watching live in the chat, feel free to throw out like what your favorite controller is, or if you have a nostalgic take on any of this. But I'm telling you, the PS4 controller is nice. It's lightweight, doesn't take batteries, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
But ergonomically, using the Xbox controller is the only way I can do shooters.
Yeah.
Because it feels much better. The triggers are obviously much better. And then even you going through your recent Xbox purchases and updating your controllers and stuff, they're sleek, man.
I can't go back to the normal Xbox One black ones.
The black ones, yeah, they're clicky and pretty. Because yours are nice. And see that I'm still using that.
Yeah.
Because my Elite broke. I freaking broke it.
Which also thinking about controllers being made, that thing for how expensive it is was poorly made. Everyone says that the shelf life is like a year.
A lot of people's break.
Since when is a controller shelf life for $150 a year?
That's
crap.
Yeah, it is crap. But I miss it, Andrew, and I want another one. But yeah, no, they're super cool.
Yeah, everyone says GameCube controller my favorite. Daniel says a good point. My hands are big, so small controllers like the Joy-Cons are painful to me. I agree. Like, I struggle. Like,
Agreed.
I play with my sister has a Switch now, and playing, like, she's definitely way better at getting, like, the tight turns or stuff like that.
Dude,
and, like,
I can wrap my hands like around the Joy-Con twice.
I feel like a dad being like, my thumbs are too fat. But
Like,
it's like, my
yeah.
thumbs are too fat.
Yeah, it's and people's beef with the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons are there's no D-pad, they're separate buttons, so you can't
Yeah, yeah,
feather
right.
it. You
Yeah.
have to precisely
Yeah.
find it.
And us old dudes are like, where is it?
The Joy-Con buttons are like, you know how the backs of Game Boys or something had like a hard reset button if you pressed it with a safety pin? It's like you got to find it. That's what the Joy-Con reminds me of.
No, actually.
I'm like, all right, these buttons are a little bit much. Again, that's why I will get a Pro Controller for Smash.
Pro Controller.
Or just tilt Mario Kart or
right.
whatever.
Right.
That's the way I choose to use my Nintendo Switch. I can't deal with any of those. Playing the linear type games with Joy-Cons.
Stuff.
I can't imagine.
Zach surprisingly says, I have small hands and the Joy-Cons hurt. Wow.
Who said that?
Zucky?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would
That's funny.
I would very much like to imagine that. Like, really? That's
one
crazy.
thing the video mentioned was just all these pro gamers getting arthritis and all that stuff. At a certain point, go outside, read a book, something. But as far as longevity to hold, like, other than weight, the Xbox One controller is so nice. But I love owning. I just own it all. I love it.
Do you think that they update the controllers for the next gen a lot?
No. The only thing is, the PS4 touchpad is so cool, and no one cares, including me. No one uses it.
What do you
no
use it
one
for?
cares. Nothing.
How do you use it?
It's supposed to be to navigate the screen or the
that thing on the
interface.
top, right?
It's a square on the top
that lights up blue.
Anytime the keyboard pops up, you can do that
I never.
instead of
never
over
known
down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one does it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, like, there are sometimes certain games that will use that interface, or you can click and drag and do all stuff.
I never
But it's essentially
knew
a
that.
gimmick.
Yeah.
It's essentially a gimmick, is what it is. It looks cool, whatever, but I just don't know if they're going to devote that much real estate on the controller to that.
So they'll take it out, you think?
But again, I don't know. What
Yeah.
did they put in its place? Because that's one thing, and that's where I'm like, okay, the Xbox One controller is still big. It's still big and heavy. There's a lot of white, like your white controllers over there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of white space. There's a lot of
Yeah.
space where
No,
nothing is
definitely.
happening. The PS4 controller has no space where nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And so the touchpad has become what nobody uses.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. But again, that brings up the bigger question that you and I have hit on in the podcast of just like, well, what are they going to do with these new console iterations? Because there is no revolutionary thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's VR and AR, which are supplementary to the console.
Yeah.
So the PS4 no-brainer of, okay, like full-on wireless support and full-on HD speed, now it's like, duh, more of that, please.
Right, yeah.
But no one gets super duper excited if you say, oh, we're moving the pixels up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's expected. It's a duh factor. So I just don't know if we're going to get wowed.
My guess is they take out the microphone thing entirely and just do an audio like headphones jack.
For what?
Like controllers, like they just take out the like big clunky Xbox headphones and they just put or they release with like Microsoft AirPod kind of things where it's like everything.
Okay,
is
so you're talking about
wireless.
specifically the Xbox One controller?
That's my, because like I still think like
Because
the
they all
Xbox-
still have that huge port,
right,
don't
and I
they?
think that's
Yeah,
gone. I think
yeah.
they make it a little bit sleeker.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't honestly from then on I would kind of like to have like a keyboard kind of attached, quick detached attached for when I'm typing really quick like messages or YouTube. I think that would be nice, but
Yeah.
I doubt that happens.
Dan in the chat says, yeah, no one cares about the touchpad, including the developers. RauwRo in the chat says, I mean, I thought the light was cool in the back. Or, oh wait, who said that? Seth said that.
Yeah.
The light is super cool, RauwRo says. So, the PS4 controller. It is super cool, but why is it there? Why does it exist? Here's the best scenario that I have found. When you're playing The Last of Us, it changes based on the environment of the story.
Oh, that's cool.
From yellow to red to
That's
white to whatever. It's freaking dope.
That's very cool.
But 9 times out of 10, it's glaring off your TV. Think about the way you're sitting often.
True.
Yeah. Our buddy of ours duct taped the Xbox logo on top of it, Kalen, on top of his Xbox controller because he didn't like the glare in his face. I don't know if you knew that. That just seems like a Kalen
Yeah,
drive.
it's absurd.
But it brings up a point. If you start to think about it, sometimes a light up controller, if it doesn't have a specific purpose to help you intake the game, it's actually hindering your experience.
Yeah.
So other than Last of Us, when the controller's blue, it makes me feel kind of cool. Like, oh, I'm holding, it's like a fictional movie where they make it randomly light up.
Yeah.
But as far as what purpose it serves, no. Especially because the longer you own a PS4 controller, you got to charge it. And people complain about batteries. I get it. Are we really still using batteries in 2019? Blah, 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 blah. But you and I just busted open a 32-pack of batteries and we're playing Halo like that. If one of us has to, let me charge my PS4, get close enough to the console, or come back when it's charged, like that's unfortunate.
It's tough, yeah.
So improved battery life, mainstream the input controllers and low latency and all that different stuff. I am totally fine if the controllers look the same, but the insides of them should blow my mind.
Yeah.
Of what they do.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
And do you think Microsoft or Sony will ever double down on more tilt controls or any of that Wii gimmicky stuff?
I really don't think they do.
I don't think they do. Developers would have to as well. I just don't see the point of that.
I would like them to follow suit in the Joy-Cons of like the small light of showing what controller, like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because on Xbox you're like, who's controller 1?
That's a great point.
Kind of annoying. I'm not saying it's like, but like you're saying with the big lights, like I like the Joy-Con is very small. It just tells you what player number you are. I think that's really helpful.
One thing, there's a speaker on the PS4 controller, audio speaker. So you're playing the game, and if a phone call comes up, like GTA All 5, the phone call comes through.
All this stuff.
Yeah, it comes through your controller, which is awesome. And I don't want that to go away. It's a super small, two-pronged like hole for the speaker. But if you shake the controller, your flashlight batteries double up in Last of Us. Stuff like that is cool, and there is ergonomics there. There are certain PS4 movements where you can click and tilt, but again, it's like somebody spent way too much time doing this. Just so you could.
Yeah, I think they just make them smaller and sleeker and faster. I don't think they'd try to do anything like super crazy.
Right.
Dan says the OG PS4 controller had awful battery life. The new ones are a lot
better.
So
that brings up how am I supposed to tell OG PS4 controller versus new one? But other than the SKU unit, you know what I mean, on the back of the controller, because PS4 controllers don't look different. Does that make sense what I'm saying to you?
I think so.
The PS4 controller that launched, like black, clunky, clicky Xbox versus white, sleek. So he's saying there are newer PS4 controllers where the battery life is better.
Is that where the DualShock controller, or is that
it's all DualShock 4, but they do release new colors and stuff. Hopefully he'll correct us in the chat or whatever.
They don't make the original ones anymore. He said old ones had glossy black, the new ones have matte black.
Oh, he's right. He's so right, dude. I never even thought about that. My freshman year roommate had an original PS4 controller, and it was a little bit different. Huh. Well, there you go. So there was that iteration improvement. It was a couple years ago. So yeah, the one I own is the newer one. But very interesting to just think about that, and sometimes they do that without anybody knowing, which is good.
Kind of nice,
right? Especially if that was supposed to always be the case. Then. Nobody wants a news article.
Right.
We've now made your controller last the normal amount of time. So that's good. Andrew, let's move on to our last story mission of the evening. Maybe a couple side missions we'll throw in there. It's hard for me not to talk about Alcatraz. Blackout, because it's so fun.
You're just really good at it. It is very fun. It is very, very fun.
The Last of Us Part 2, Andrew, wrapped up filming.
They tweeted it like 5 or 6 days ago. Finished production shooting.
Yeah, Neil and Troy and all them, they posted the picture of the actors all dubbed up in their motion cap stuff. Super cool tweet. Everyone's super excited about it. At first, I thought it meant there's no way it comes out this year because I thought they were already done filming. But I don't really know what crunch time development works.
Someone did the research saying like the similar product development has been, they announced that same thing on Uncharted 4 and the first Last of Us, and it comes out later that year when they stop filming.
Okay. That makes me happy.
Yeah, so people were saying that's their biggest indication for it coming out this year because in the development cycle.
That's what Naughty Dog has done before. Well, that's a good sign then. That would
It's-
make me super happy.
It's an incredibly crazy sign.
And so RauwRo getting an Xbox is like here, and then like right below it
Is
would be Last of Us
dude.
2019.
Well, okay, so and this is what I was gonna say, but I held my mouth to wait for the podcast. Like, as a PlayStation fan, do you think it? Do you think that they're missing a little bit of? I know you said it's gonna come like remastered for PS5, but don't you think they lose a little bit of steam if they don't release it with the new console? Or no, is no one worried about that?
No one's worried about that.
Okay.
PS4 games are backwards compatible for PS5.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter when a PS5 owner buys The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
They'll eventually own it anyway.
Yeah.
And here's my take, Andrew. It's not a missed potential. It's making up for lost potential. They're quiet at E3. I said this since the beginning. Let everybody have E3, have their summer, and then just go bloop.
Yeah.
And then win.
Yeah.
It's the big red failsafe button of Sony's going to retreat and then just say, Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
And then they own 2019. It would be so cool.
Yeah.
You remaster it with DLC or whatever and launch it with PS5, and then you have something else brand new.
Yeah.
Because the reason I say that is people are like, oh, well, why wouldn't they launch it with the PS5? So they can launch something else with the PS5.
Yeah, true.
Last of Us does not need a console to succeed.
That's true.
But they could capitalize on maybe a new franchise, maybe a Death Stranding console launch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you're not going to have a double game first party console launch the same day. You're going to spread yourself out.
Totally.
So if you're going to spread yourself out, do you want Last of Us 2 to lead into that spread? Does that make sense?
No, it
The
makes
cadence
sense.
that at least I could see it happening?
It's hard for me to envision just because Microsoft, I think about like Halo Infinite is Microsoft, so if it came out on the Xbox One before the next one, I'd be like worried for Xbox's success, but PlayStation does a really good job of spreading out their first party big releases that. So
but that's the thing,
Yeah.
Andrew. Xbox has Halo.
yeah, exactly, right.
PlayStation has all this stuff.
Yeah.
And Naughty Dog loves stories.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good story to look back on the PS4 and say, Last of Us Remastered started this generation and Last of Us Part 2 ended it.
Yeah.
I would love to see that happen. It could get delayed.
Yeah.
There's such a large chance it's 2020.
Yeah.
I'm still so ready to be wrong about this.
Right.
And that's fine.
Daniel says, I feel like Last of Us 2 is going to be in the same position as the original, release in spring 2020 right before new consoles. Original release in early 2013 right before the new consoles. Rower says, I saw one outlet saying it's coming out September 27th. I laughed and then I cried.
Yeah, that was a leak that is not proven, and people were just kind of reacting to it. But I don't know what else do they have in the fall though, Andrew. That's where
I don't know.
That's why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking. I'm not just fanboying and saying, "Oh, give it to me in the fall." I'm saying they got to do something.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't. That's totally fine. They're gonna do what's right and what they feel like is necessary.
Yeah.
But
Seth says, but wouldn't they have to cater the game development to the new PS5, meaning that the PS5 would have been nearly developed when making The Last of Us Part 2?
Yes, but they've done that recipe has always been in tow. People have had dev kits for a while for PS5. Last of Us on PS3, that remastered makes it look beautiful.
Right.
But it plays the same.
Yeah.
And that's what's so incredible about The Last of Us, Andrew, is guess why everybody loves The Last of Us? Because it was on PS3, and people are like, whoa, this looks really good.
Yeah.
This is it. You're at this point where you have so many consoles out there.
Yeah.
PS4 is eventually going to be on a downward, because that's what happens. The PS5 cannibalizes the PS4. That's how it exists.
Totally.
So I just see it, a big picture of get as many PS4s on the earth as possible and then drop Last of Us. And then pick
Makes
up
sense.
PS5 with, hey, we're bringing Last of Us with us.
Yeah.
But Daniel brings up a good point. Yes, they'd still do that, but it would be spring 2020.
Yeah.
In my mind, that I would be totally fine with that. I would not be disappointed. The what would disappoint me, and by that I just mean eagerly waiting in anticipation, is if it's fall 2020, because then it's like, all right, I'm going to be 4,800 years
that's
old,
so long.
and that's so far away.
Yeah.
But if we are less than a year away from Last of Us, I'm on board.
It's
dude.
crazy, yeah.
It's going to be fun. I'm not going to sell my PS4 this time. I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, smart
nobody needs to rebuy a PlayStation. But I will be upgrading, and we'll see if we get any Death Stranding info.
I wonder if anyone doesn't upgrade. Is anyone not interested in upgrading when new consoles come out? Will you be sticking with Xbox One, PS4? I doubt that people do, but
Well, and that's where I'm at interest. I gotta decide.
what
I got 3 consoles.
yeah.
I got them all.
Yeah.
Why can't I go broke? You know.
You can't buy all the
So
new.
no, Xbox One has got to. I gotta upgrade. I mean, I have the OG Xbox One, so it's like, it's dated.
Yeah, and you're gonna get you're trying to get the digital, right? All digital or no?
I don't know.
Are you waiting?
I wish you didn't even bring that up, Andrew. It stresses me out too
jeez,
much.
I'm sorry.
I forgot about that.
Panic attack on this.
Well, no, I mean, I'm gonna keep this until Xbox.
Oh, so
like-
you're not going all digital?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need to. I can
Hey,
already.
if new consoles are coming, what's the point?
But that's the thing. I can play digital games,
yeah.
and it's still like. Why would I? Why?
Yeah.
Granted, if it gets cheaper, if I find a sale,
Yeah.
or I see tremendous merit in having a portable Xbox One, I might do it.
Yeah.
And the reason I would is because once I eventually, I'd have that, I would trash my Xbox One, get whatever I can for it, buy the Xbox, 2, whatever, and then still have a portable console that has stuff to it. But as far as, I might keep my Xbox One and just not use it, but I could keep it with my disc tower and have it. Because here's the thing, Andrew, Blu-ray DVD player, like that's it.
Yeah, totally.
And so if I upgrade my Xbox and don't have it, then I have to buy or rent.
Yeah.
It's
weird.
I can't spontaneously Redbox
That's
like
weird.
we do.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
definitely
see
weird.
merit in at least, because it's my DVD player, it's my Blu-ray player. So I need to think about that. It's not,
They should make Redbox digital.
they do, but not all titles. If you go to redbox.com, half of them are digital.
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I thought it was like crazy.
Yeah. No, but it's the whole big thing of just like
Gotcha.
slowly it's heading that way.
Oh, so it says it's Death Stranding that Daryl.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Death Stranding is like semi-horror, no? Thriller?
It's more dystopia and just trippy.
Just trippy, yeah. If you're not familiar, go check out some YouTube videos. The graphics are unsettlingly crazy.
It's Kojima's first game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely crazy. And Dan,
It's hush hush. Yeah.
Dan said a quick side mission if you're down.
I'm always down, Andrew.
It's very quick. He said, "Can we talk about how sneaky Randy Pitchford is?" After Troy said that Gearbox definitely didn't reach out to him about being in Borderlands 3. So Randy Pitchford just lied about Troy Baker being in.
Because Randy said something about, what did Randy say?
Daniel can say, I don't know the exact, but I believe it's probably just something like Troy Baker's going to be in our game, or Troy is in our
Oh, okay.
or we reached out or something like that. But
Gotcha.
I guess Troy responded saying, I've never been reached out by
Oh,
Gearbox
okay, yeah.
Studio.
No, yeah. Randy Pitchford says Troy turned it down. And then Troy said, I did no such thing. Yeah.
So basically, is Randy Pitchford the worst person ever?
Confirmed, right? Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. And I have no ties to Borderlands. I know you sort of do.
Yeah.
Are you worried about that game at all? I mean,
No.
Okay.
Because
it'll do fine.
it's just so...
It's more of the same. It's its own.
Yeah.
It's its own thing.
It doesn't have to succeed. It just has to be fun. It doesn't have to be mind-mendingly amazing.
That's cool.
So,
Super cool.
I ain't worried.
Well, Andrew, Days Gone comes out this weekend. I'm excited
Friday.
to play that.
Is anyone else getting it? Anyone
Yeah,
else excited?
it'll be. I'll give my impressions. I'll see how far into the campaign I can get. Game of Thrones is upon us, Andrew. We're in the thick of it. Episode 3 coming up this weekend. It's gonna be fun. The Witcher show launches this fall. We can talk about that later on in the podcast.
That's just crazy to me.
We also found out Pablo Schreiber is going to be the actor in Master Chief, the live action series, which we finally got news about.
I'd never...
On Showtime.
For me, when I saw that, I had no idea.
About the show?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, you did though, but it's been years of
Yeah,
rumors.
well, there've been so many different things. The Michael Bay movie.
Right, no, yeah,
the
you're right.
different
You're right.
TV
This
shows.
is what all that has become.
Okay, yeah. That's why I was like,
There's
wait,
nothing
what?
else. There's nothing else going on. This is it. Showtime is dope. He's fine. The whole big thing is why we're not going to see his face.
Yeah.
Or we better not. Like half the people are saying we better not.
Well, yeah, well, we better not. We better not.
So it doesn't matter. All I care about is his height, right? Like.
How does Master Chief live action show succeed? I have no How does Witcher show succeed? I have no freaking idea.
I don't know. It's gonna be fun. We get, again, low stakes, dude. We already pay for Netflix. We'll just look at it.
Dude, I'm worried about Witcher just because I looked at some of the stuff. It's like their books or something.
weird.
Like we're not gonna get it. Basically, what they said.
Oh, I know. Well, it's not gonna be like Witcher 3.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
It's gonna be like.
Now I'm like, oh,
It's gonna be weird.
do I like this anymore?
Right. We might not.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
a large chance you and I don't.
That's why I've been worried about it.
But then, yeah, and so who knows what's gonna happen with the Halo thing? I think they had mentioned 2021 or something for that. So it's a long ways away, but there'll be tons of fun stuff to talk about. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Episode 27, Andrew.
Episode 27.
That's a wrap on episode 27. That's so cool.
Clocking in today,
Friendly
boys.
reminder that you can find us at minteractivexyz on just about every social media possible. You can check out patreon.com/mediainteractive to support us. Find our RSS feed with everything we have ever done. We are live every Tuesday night, twitch.tv/mediainteractive. Thank you so much for joining us live in the chat. Check out the HD audio. It's going to go up later tonight.
Jeez.
YouTube, podcast services everywhere.
You run through that so well.
It's like ingrained.
You can do it in your sleep. You'll
It's
wake up
great.
like- Check us out on Patreon.com.
It's ingrained in my life. Love it so much.
That says almost 30. We're almost 30, guys.
Almost to 30. It's going to be so
Almost
much
30.
fun.
Thank you guys so much.
Much love. And keep on gaming.